Rangers defenseman Tony DeAngelo appears to be done at the Big Apple. We just recently had a press conference from Jeff Gorton and John Davidson, and we'll explain where the Rangers are at with the situation coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. Now, in case you missed the big drama and the big story here, of course, yesterday there was big news in the Rangers organization. They placed defenseman Tony DeAngelo on waivers. Well, today, noon Eastern time came and went. We found out there were no claims, so Tony has cleared waivers, and the Rangers have the options here of assigning him to their taxi squad or the minor league team or whatever, but they're actually taking the approach of sending him home and trying to trade him. Now, of course, even though nobody claimed him on waivers, it does not mean 100% that nobody will take him on. I mean, it's difficult to say how things are going to go right now, but they are trying to do a trade now that the waivers have cleared and nobody's put in a claim for him. So now obviously might be teams out there that might have interest, but might need to move money or have the Rangers take a contract back or something to that effect. So it might be easier this way if there's interest. Now, according to the agent for Tony DeAngelo, who's Pat Brisson, the top agent in the NHL, he says that basically Tony's going to be home waiting for a trade, and he's working with the Rangers GM to try to facilitate that and get a new home for DeAngelo, who of course just recently signed a 2-year contract at $4.8 million. We're only 6 games into that, and we finally have a little bit more clarification on what happened. We also have a little bit more of a comment on the situation from the Rangers organization, given the press conference that just happened a short time ago. So here's a quick backstory in case you missed yesterday's video. The Rangers and Penguins in the last game, of course, ended up going to overtime. The Penguins win 5-4. DeAngelo was on the ice for 4 to 5 goals, including the game-winning goal put in by Sidney Crosby of Pittsburgh. There was a bit of a miscommunication between he and goaltender Alexander Georgiev, and it was speculated that after getting off the ice, whether it be in the tunnel, we've also heard in the dressing room, one of the two spots, that DeAngelo essentially made some kind of a wisecrack at Georgiev, kind of putting the blame on him for the loss, and he ended up snapping at Tony, and they got into a scuffle. There was also word that another teammate broke up the fight. There was rumors that Chris Kreider was the teammate and that he punched DeAngelo. We cannot verify that happened or not. I mean, right now, we've also heard word that it was K'Andre Miller who broke up the fight, so difficult to say. I mean, the Rangers didn't comment on that aspect of things, so we really don't know 100% here what's going on, but we do know that Tony DeAngelo has had a very tainted past. He's been suspended between his time in the Ontario Hockey League and junior, when it comes to abusive officials, racial slurs towards a teammate. He's got quite a reputation on social media. Obviously, he's been on Twitter putting out a lot of tweets denying the election results in the U.S., denying that COVID was a real thing. He's quite a controversial character and has said a lot of things to rile a lot of people up, and there's a lot of people that aren't really overly fond of some of his opinions and how he carries himself. Now, according to GM Jeff Gorton, he has confirmed that DeAngelo will not play for the Rangers ever again. He is done in the Big Apple, and he will be sitting home trying to work out a trade for the time being. Now, if a trade can't be worked out, I wonder if they would consider looking at a buyout option. There is a possibility of that, but that might be tricky to do. The NHLPA would likely back DeAngelo, trying to help him keep his contract and get paid. He may end up being home getting paid if they can't work out a deal. I'm not really sure, but there's been a lot that's gone on. There's been a lot of hearsay. Some things we know to be somewhat true, others not so much. So we got information earlier today from Elliot Friedman on his latest podcast that just came out, kind of confirming all the backstory. But he was told a lot, like other journalists, be careful what you claim to be the truth, because there's a lot that's unconfirmed right now. There was also a story, speculation, and right now it's looking like it's not true, that one of the things that DeAngelo recently did to upset his teammates was that he took the puck from K'Andre Miller's first NHL goal about a week ago and has not let him have it. Now, that is kind of being debunked here by the Rangers and other people, but there is some reporters out there that say they have sources that swear this indeed happened, and it's coming from a variety of sources. So, I mean, according to the official comments from the Rangers, it didn't happen. But even when K'Andre Miller's agent was asked about it, it was kind of a soft rebuttal, you could say. All he really said is he didn't deny that it happened or not. All he said was, to the best of his knowledge, Keandre Miller was under the impression that Rangers equipment staff or whoever looks after getting those framed and looked after has the puck, and they're in the process of getting it done up for him, and he'd have it soon. But it was also very weird that he never got a photo op after with his first puck and plastered on social media like everybody gets. All NHL players, when they score their first goal, they always make a really big deal about it, get your picture, and it goes all over their social media accounts, and that for some reason never seemed to happen. So that kind of fueled the speculation that maybe this indeed did happen. They can't take a picture with the puck if they don't indeed have it. But, that's not. And there was apparently video of DeAngelo fishing the puck out of the net after he scored the goal. So he was on the ice for that. But most people are saying that he indeed brought the puck to the equipment manager right away and didn't keep it. So, for the most part, we cannot confirm that to be true. And there's enough people saying that it's not true that, I guess at this point, let's just say it didn't happen until we get anything further. But, you got to remember as well, and I've said this so many times on this channel, you got to remember that there's times when the NHL GMs and the organizations are not going to be 100% truthful because they don't need to be. It's not that they don't want to, they want to lie to you. It's just there's some things they don't have to talk about because it happened behind closed doors, and it's nothing that really is necessary to become public. And it's a little bit of damage control. In my opinion, this press conference was more about damage control than anything else. Obviously, they had to speak on the situation. Gorton also did say that basically Tony DeAngelo did not handle being a healthy scratch very well. Obviously, he got off to a really bad start to the season. He was scratched a few times, and he said that Tony really couldn't get past that, and that he was told that if there is any other issues, if your name is brought up, any other situations that we're not fond of, any kind of bad situations here, you're going to be done and you're going on waivers. So he was already warned that, anything else, that's what's going to happen. And he said he felt like he needed to stay true to his word and the organization's word. So he followed up and put him on waivers after the incident, after the Penguins Rangers game. So, Tony DeAngelo, it's difficult to say where he ends up next. Will he get another NHL opportunity? Some people, including his agent, are saying that there is interest in a trade, but it's just really hard to say what team is going to take that on and risk the heat they're going to get and the potential drama that comes with it. He's a great offensive defenseman, not great defensively, but a lot of teams will overlook that, and essentially for what the positive things you do bring, but I just don't know. I don't know that it's going to happen for him. His career is certainly somewhat in jeopardy. I do think it's fair to say that. He's going to get paid probably, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think another NHL team is going to take a chance on Tony DeAngelo after these latest situations have occurred here? And we'll see, obviously what happens here in the coming days. But for right now, he's done in New York. He'll be sitting at home and waiting for a trade if it happens. And we'll see. The Rangers will probably basically give him away. They might have to take a contract back or retain salary or something to make it work for whatever team is kind of willing to take him off their hands. But he's not welcome back in that Rangers locker room after this last situation that's happened. So let me know your thoughts down below, and we can discuss further in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on your notifications so you don't miss any future content, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.